Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another MLP cast. We'll be Michael Phoenix again, casting for a man by the name of Illegal Monkey, but this time around, however, something special. We've got a Battle Cup game, and the man himself, who I believe in-game is visual, if I remember correctly, so apologies if I've forgotten, but I'm pretty sure it's visual, who is Illegal Monkey, but he's asked me to review this game and provide criticism where I think they could have improved. I'm not sure what the outcome is of the game. Obviously, I don't know what they've drafted in this game. I have absolutely no idea what happens as usual. So I will provide criticism as he's asked. I'm not sure how much he wanted me to provide. I'm not the best player in the world myself, but I have 10 years plus experience in Dota 1 and 2, so I've seen quite a few things, have a bit of knowledge. So I'm sure I could provide some kind of input as to how it could be improved. But nevertheless, allow me to go ahead with the draft. And as the game goes on, I'll provide my usual analysis style. Because I don't have an analyst with me at the moment. So I'll provide my usual kind of analytics as to what's going on. And without further ado, I'll go through the draft. So we've got a Silencer and a Weaver ban out. And a Bloodseeker Slider ban out. Now this is Battle Cup. I'm not exactly sure what tier it is, but generally you just ban what you're not comfortable playing against, which is absolutely fine. It's more about what you pick. We've got a Tusker first pick. That's very interesting. I'd like to see what this is going to go with. My automatic assumption is this is going to be a Nakes game, so they're going to do the Nakes bomb with Tusker. That's my automatic assumption. Probably a position 4 Tusker at that. Possibly the off lane, but I doubt it. And we've got a very safe Juggernaut safe lane pickup from the side of the Dire. And I believe, if I remember correctly, it's Yamate or Yakate. It's some Japanese name for this team. And unfortunately, I don't remember the name of the other team. That's a bit unprofessional. The team that they call themselves. In fact, I might just look it up because I feel a bit rude not calling it out. So, it was... Oh, great. It won't actually... I can't actually find it without knowing what the outcome of the game is. So I'd rather not check. I think they're called Sleeping Boys or something, but I'll check at the end of the game because I feel very rude not knowing it. Anyway, second pickup, Keeper of the Light. So Keeper of the Light, extremely strong position 5. Can be played as a position 4. Doesn't really matter because Keeper of the Light always manages to get the farm just to be able to get the Aghanim Scepter, which changes the game so much. So strong pickup, works well with the Juggernaut as well because any offlaner going up against this Juggernaut in the safe lane will just get mana leaked by the Keeper of the Light, and then they'll have no mana the whole laning phase, which is terrible, or they'll run out of mana, get stunned, and Juggernaut will get the space to make the spin occur. And considering he'll probably have free farm, I'm sure he's going to be able to get a quick phase boots and make the spins occur. So good little couple picks from this side of the Dire. We'll see what the Radiant do to counterpick this. And it is the lifesteal as I expected. So it is a Nakes bomb between the two. I personally, like, Nakes is a safe pick as well. It's definitely not as safe as Juggernaut. And Juggernaut is a naturally good hero against the Nakes. So I'm not sure about the pickup. But it's absolutely fine. We haven't seen what's going to happen yet. But just as these two heroes go, the carries, Juggernaut is a very good counter to Nakes. Simply because he deals a lot of physical damage, which is what you need against Nakes, because he can rage out of any kind of spell damage you can deal to him. And the Omni Slash is also very good against the Nakes, assuming he's already used Infest, which more than likely he would have, because they usually engage using the Nakes bomb, as we like to call it, where they infest in somebody and that other hero runs in. So it's a good... They've kind of already got... They've counterpicked the Nakes without actually trying to counterpick it. The Sniper is picked up as the ban, which is fair enough, because Sniper is a very good mid against Juggernaut. So having a farm Sniper in mid always works well against the Juggernaut, who just needs to get up close and fight. We'll wait for this third ban up. It's very interesting though, because they've chosen their main style of play straight away. So both teams being very confident in their drafts to pick up the quick carries. And we see a Viper ban out, so they're really focusing on the mid heroes right now. that could possibly be picked up on either team. So both teams really don't want the stronger mids picked up. Interesting, like the thing with, so the way Dota works has always worked, but especially right now, is it's so important that you win the laning phase. And I see a lot of teams do this where they ban out the carries and the mids, and it's fair enough, but it is also important to make sure your team, the opposing team, does not get the off lane or the supports that they want, because they're the ones who are going to dictate whether the mid game goes well for the other team. So for example, you don't want to give someone like a Centaur because it's overpowered right now. And mind you, the side of the rating, they did do the right thing by banning the Slardar, which is a very strong offlane or position 4 right now. But, there you go, they banned the Centaur as well. So that's a smart ban. Banning these kind of the Slardar, the Centaur, those are definitely smart bans. There's only so many mids you can take out of the game. So it's more about ban what you're not comfortable against, like playing against, and ban some and pick up a mid that you're very comfortable playing. But I would focus solely on making sure I have the supports and the good offlane that I want, because if they have a good laning stage, like if they ensure a good laning stage, then you're probably going to have a very good mid game as well, which is what they're going for at the moment. Both teams kind of have a mid game oriented lineup. Obviously, they can both all go late game as well, because Jug and Nakes are very late game orientated as well. But the strongest parts of these heroes, the part where they shine, is the mid game. Eventually, they will drop off. Like, there are stronger carries than Juggernaut and Nakes. But nevertheless, we will wait out and see what these teams go for. Waiting for the third pick of the Dire. And like I said, I apologize if I critique too much. It's just when somebody asks me to critique something, I'll go pretty in depth if I have to, because I don't know how far you want me to go in. So please excuse me if I'm offensive in any way, if I'm a bit too harsh at times. I'm gonna try not to be harsh at all, but learning experience, just trying to help out. So please excuse me. Well, waiting for this third pick, a lot of reserve time being used. I'm gonna assume they're gonna choose the mid now. Oh, no, it's actually an Ogre Magi. I'm intrigued to see that they took that long to choose up the Ogre, but because Ogre's very good support, like nobody can deny that. He did have some slight nerfs. I believe it was Bloodlust that had the mana increased by 15, because it used to be 50, I think it was, and now it's 65. Not too big of a deal. It just means that every third one you cast, every third Bloodlust you cast, you could have had a fourth one previously. But that's fine. Like, it still doesn't make the hero any weaker than it was. It's just a bit of a mana issue that he may have now, but it's only 15 mana. It's not a big deal. And Ogre Magi works very well with Juggernaut. Any carry with Bloodlust works extremely well. Ignite ensures you have a very, very strong safe, a very strong any lane he's in. So Ogre can rotate to the mid, make sure the mid wins. He can stay in the safe lane, make sure his safe laner is okay. Just that Ignite is just so darn good. And we have a Disruptor pickup. That's interesting. I'm not sure. Like, Disruptor's a very strong position 5 or 4. You can play either one. The Glimpse is obviously very good, but it doesn't work well against Juggernaut because he can spin out of it. So I'm not too sure about that. The Silence, the ulti and the Kinetic Field are obviously very good, but like I said, Juggernaut, he can get a BKB to get out of the Silence, to get off the Silence issue, unless Disruptor gets an Aghanim Scepter. If he's already spinning, I'm pretty sure the spin will go through the Kinetic Field. I'm fairly sure. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure about that pickup, but it might be a comfort pick. Disruptor is still very good. Like, it still does ruin teams at times if it's played very well.
Mirana.
I want a Mirana pickup. This could be their mid. I'm assuming this is going to be the mid hero for Dire. We don't see too much of her anymore. Still a very strong hero, mind you. Like, there is absolutely nothing wrong with Mirana. She's got some good setups for the arrow as well, if need be. And we have a Phoenix. That's interesting. A lot of AoE There's a hell of a lot of AoE in this team between the Disruptor and the Phoenix. But I'm not too sure about the pickup. Like, we don't see a lot of Phoenix, and Phoenix is still very good. It's just people kind of underrating it at the moment, but I just don't know about it. Like, it doesn't feel like it's going to work well with the rest of the heroes that are picked up, is my issue. Because it doesn't, I just don't see anything happening with it. But look, like I said, they could prove me completely wrong. We've seen Odin and Tinker pick up, so 2 mid bans. Nobody wants to, every Battle Cup I've ever casted or played in, the Tinker is always banned. Never like, it's never surprising to me that it's banned whatsoever. Just nobody wants to play against a Tinker late game. It's just disgusting. And they've already got the Keeper of the Light as well, so if you added a Tinker to that, oh, it's just unplayable. you've got the Illuminate, and then you've got the March of the Machines, and you just can't push a lane at all. There's just no way it's going to happen. Luckily, it's banned out, so we won't see like a 5-hour game. And we'll get the last pickup. This is the point where they'll use the reserve time, just talk it out, make sure everyone knows what they're doing. Phoenix is probably going to be in the offlane. They still require a mid. It's hard to know what to recommend in these kind of instances. I feel like they need more. Like they need a secondary carry or like a very strong core like a TA, I would say. Like there's not much that would stop a TA in this kind of game. So Templar Assassin, a lot of mids have been banned out. Who else is there that they could pick up? It's pretty hard to think when you haven't got the hero chart in front of you. Like TA is the only thing that comes to my mind that would really work well with this kind of lineup. I'm very intrigued to see what they do pick up though. Unless this is a mid Tusk. Which I don't think so, because that would be very weak. And there's a Death Prophet. I like Death Prophet. I can see what Visual's gone for here. They want to go for pretty much very, very mid-orientated. Let's push fast. You know, let's just dominate this team and pretty much out-farm them to the point where they can't keep up with us in the mid-game. I can see what they're doing. The Dire do have a... Like, I mean, I wouldn't say they have a late game lineup, but when you've got a Coddle in the game, it kind of indicates you want to go later. So, I don't know. I mean, Dire still has a mid... Like, they still have a strong early game, is what I'm saying. So, I'm scared that the Radiant may have gone a bit too... Possibly a bit too greedy with that pickup. Like all the heroes on the side of the Radiant need like half of them need a lot of levels and half of them need a lot of farm. So you need Death Prophet needs levels and farm. Nakes just needs mostly farm. The rest of them need levels to make something happen. So the supports are too greedy on the Radiant end at the moment. Like I said, I could be proven wrong. It depends how the Dire plays it out. If they win the laning stage and start roaming around 10 minutes or earlier, then they will pretty much dominate the game, I think. And yeah, they've got a Storm Spirit, so they're gonna really escalate that strong mid game kind of style push. Both teams have it, but the Dire have like they require much less farm to do it. They can get their levels pretty quick. They can get they don't need much farm to start going crazy. I'm just interested to see where's Mirana going. She's in the offlane, is she? Or is this an aggressive tri-lane that they're going to pull off and leave Mirana in their safe lane? There's a lot of ways you can use this. This is also slightly confusing, but I'm assuming it's a position for Tusker. So it's going to be a tri-lane at bot. I don't think they'll go offensive. They'll just go safe lane. There's no point taking the Nakes into an offensive tri-lane because they will get outplayed. Like, not outplayed, but the heroes that they'd be up against is just way too much. And without further ado, looks like we're about to get into the game. And I will quickly go through the draft and see what's going down and who's playing what. So let me just change this to free camera. Alright, we'll go through the Radiant first. So we've got Visual, he's playing the position 4 Tusker. Senior Cheesy Cake, or Senior Cheesy Cake. He's playing the Disruptor. We have Death Prophet being played by Horus. We've got the Phoenix. He's been played by Mies Blackman. I don't think I've seen him play with this team before. So he's a new person. I'm pretty sure I've never seen that guy. Unless I have and I'm being offensive. And Royale with cheese is what they call a Big Mac in France, I believe, or a quarter pounder. I can't remember the Pulp Fiction reference, but Mr. Royale with cheese himself. He's playing that carry Nakes. Meanwhile, on the Dire side, we've got Sapphire playing the Juggernaut. We've got Levi Kappa. He'll be on that bottom. We see Pigeon. He's playing that Ogre. The mid Storm Spirit will be playing by Nirvana. And finally, the Keeper of the Light played by My Little Roshan. Which I'm pretty sure is a reference to My Little Pony. Pretty funny. And looks like nobody's going to really contest for that bounty rune. They're just going to get their respective and be happy with those. Horus has been pulled the Tango. He's got 2 Fairy Fires, so he's got plenty of regen and he'll be rushing that bottle first. That's fine. And same kind of deal with Nirvana. Death Prophet is an extremely strong laner in the mid. Like, very, very strong. And I think, unless the Storm Spirit gets a very fast bottle and Soul Ring, he's going to have a few issues in mid. So Nirvana will have to, he has to prioritize that farm very hard. Because that once they've got the Crypt Swarm up, it's well, I mean, the mana's not too low, but it's just so frustrating because she'll get her bottle fast and she'll just keep spamming that. And then when you add it up with the, where is that? Oh, that's right. They removed the whole being able to buff your first skill with that passive ability that they used to have. Anyway, Visual, he's up against Pigeon right now, and Pigeon, he's used the Ignite. And actually, Visual cops a lot of damage there. And we've got a dual lane. We've got a dual lane off lane, Phoenix and Tusker, and they're both getting sent out of the lane just by Pigeon. And that's the strength of having such a strong support in the laning stage. Is he's just gonna wreck you in the lane and not let you get any experience and farm. Looks like Visual, he's turning around, deciding to go somewhere else. They may have to use a shrine very early. In fact, Mies, he looks like he's in a bit of trouble here. And no, they didn't find him, and he'll just use the Icarus dive and back off. I do disagree with this lane. I don't think both of them should be here. Should leave the Phoenix at top and let Tusker either roam or send him at bot and get the aggressive going at the bot lane. Even though it's not necessary, but there's no point in both of them being here. Looks like Visual, he'll probably be roaming around trying to sneak over and steal some bounty runes when he can. But the off lane's already lost, unfortunately, for the side of the Radiant. Meanwhile, mid, like I said, Storm has to focus a lot on getting those last hits very early, because he has to get that quick Soul Ring and bottle. Otherwise, he's going to struggle a lot in this lane. But he seems to be doing very well for himself right now. Does know what he's doing with those last hits. Using the Remnant very well himself as well. The Remnant is 100 mana, but it offers a lot of damage. So it is worth using it for the last hits if you have to. Which against a Death Prophet is definitely advised. And it even looks like Visual's here to try and stop this man farming. Which he does need to do. Obviously, you want to gank the Storm Spirit as early as possible. Because once he gets level 6, he's practically impossible to kill. Oh, and look at Coddle. He's just making the Phoenix's life absolute hell. So it means he's not going to have a fun time this game, I don't think. Visual's just waiting there. He's leeching a bit of XP, but he's got the Snowball available. And they do have the level 2 Spirit Siphon, which does slow him down quite a bit. It's a 10% slow. The damage is very good. And they can kill this Storm Spirit pretty early. He has a bottle now, but no boots. So if they're ever going to go on him, I think Tusker's just waiting for that level 2. So he has the shards available. So they can at least block him in. Which is definitely the right play to go for. It's just so close to level 2 now. He's just standing in those trees just waiting. Just for those ice shots to come up so he can actually block him in. Meanwhile, bot lane looks like Royale with cheese. He'll be having a good time at bot, just farming. Pretty much free farm. Can see Levi Kappa. He's actually just backed off a bit. Going to go for that bounty rune soon, but probably going to try and farm the jungle while he can. No point sitting in that lane if you're getting nothing out of it, so it's not going to be the easiest lane for Mirana as well. She's definitely lost the off lane, but at the very least, you make what you can out of it. And there's a snowball in from Visual. And he's got the shards available now, uses it for the block, but the Spirit Siphon was actually cancelled off, now used again. And actually Phoenix is here as well, and he does a bit of damage with the Remnant, but it is first blood for the side of the Radiant, so a good kill. Good rotation by Mies as well. He's getting nothing in the top lane, so he decides, well, I may as well go make something happen. And it almost felt like if he didn't come in, they wouldn't have got the kill, so it was a good rotation. Obviously the Sunray does deal a lot of damage, and it is... Or actually, no, it's not pure anymore. But still, 3.25% max HP. Good damage. Levi Kappa, he's actually in massive trouble here. Royale with Cheese wants to keep chasing. Now has to back off because Pigeon's there and he's slowing him up with the Orb of Venom as well. And the Glimpse was used. I was going to say, where was the Glimpse? But Senor, he did have it and did use it. Unfortunately, though, Mirana still did manage to get away. And I think that may have had something to do with the fact that, that the Ogre came in. So Pigeon... slowing down that Nake's just enough so he couldn't catch up. Visual, he'll find himself a refresh rune. Now we'll steal it and stun Pigeon just a bit. Obviously doesn't want to give it away to that Ogre because he really needed it. And actually the Storm Spirit, he's out farmed Horus by quite a lot. Now Pigeon's coming in to help out as well. And although they did get the first blood, obviously, like we can't count that out. But still, you can't give this too many last hits. When they do snowball in, now the Tusker shards as well. That's another good kill. And this is the right thing to do. When you're getting outlaned, like when the Storm Spirit is just outplaying you in terms of last hits, like it's good for somebody like the Tusker to come in and make a play happen. So I've got to say, at the moment, Radiant side doing very well. Like last hits are suffering. You can see Juggernaut out-farming the Nakes in the last hits. But apart from that, in the mid lane, I mean, they're turning it around from what's turning out to be not very good. They're turning into a better situation for themselves. But that being said, Pigeon's come in now. Wanted to go for the Ignite play, but didn't really get in range for it. Looks like Sapphire, he wants to go for something here, but no, he'll just back off. Not level 6 yet. In fact, he's only level 4. My little Roshan, he's here as well now. So they really want to try and protect Nirvana. And that's fair enough because he's died twice now, which is just... It's just absolute suicide for a Storm. Very dependent on that farm and levels. You can't risk that Storm dying anymore. And I mean, so far from what they're doing right now, I mean... I just can't see the game going that badly for them. The Radiant are doing fairly well. Horus, he looks like he could be in a bit of trouble soon. There is a level 6 Storm Spirit and he does have haste available. And Horus is level 6 as well, but he hasn't leveled up the Exorcism quite yet. Just because at level 1, it's not really that worth it. Levi Kappa, not farming too badly himself. Managed to get himself 13 last hits on the off lane. And Visual, he's actually in a bit of trouble from Nirvana, but he's going to back off. Now I think Mies is going to be the target. No, Nirvana doesn't know what to do about this. The tier 1's there and he doesn't really want to run into it. His teammates are too far back. And there's the mana leak, but it's too late, I think. And actually, Visual, he still sees Nirvana. Nirvana, he wants to probably go for that courier kill, but doesn't actually go for it. Now the Illuminate comes through again. And Koddle, he's gone for that mana, the 1-1-2 build. Which he will be maxing Chakra Magic, but that one level of Mana Leak is just so darn good. Oh, Horus, he's in big trouble here. Nirvana, he's going to find him, and I think Horus, he might die here. Pigeon, he's going to be able to get that Ignite off, and he stuns first. Now the Ignite's there, and he uses the Spirit Siphon, trying to survive now. Visual, he comes in, Snowball, and the Shards. And Pigeon looks like he's trying to back off, but the Frozen Sigil, my apologies, is there to slow him out just enough. And it is a good slower level 1. It's 10%. Now Mies is there. And actually Nirvana doesn't have enough mana to get out of here. The Sunray dealing so much damage. And Mies gets the kill and forced to use the ultimate to survive. But still, definitely worth it. And that's the 3rd time they've killed this Storm Spirit. So at the end of the day, Horus goes down, but they make something out of it. And it's definitely worth killing 2 heroes for that. Now Royale with Cheese, he's been ignited up. Pigeon, he's trying to make something out of this, but he's in trouble now himself. And Royale just turns around, heals himself by attacking this poor Ogre. And Royale will just get back to farming, which is exactly what he needs to do. He's going for that, I believe, an armlet. Yes, he is. And I've got to say, from the terrible laning stages they were having, they've really turned this game around. Pigeon. He's come in. He might find himself Visual, and if he does, he'll get a kill 100% here. Visual has no mana to snowball either, and he'll find him now, but I don't know if he's in range for that stun. And the tower should have just seen him, I think. No, in fact, it didn't. He was just out of range, so... Gets away with still being invis without anyone knowing. Oh, actually, they're going Disruptor, and Senor, he's in big trouble, and he'll get taken out. Meanwhile, Royale with Cheese, he's trying to man-fight this. And there is a TP coming in from Visual and the Phoenix now. They're going to snowball back in. And Levi Kappa, there's the shards first. They're waiting for the leap. Now there's a snowball straight away. And the Sunray comes out as well. And Levi Kappa, he's dead. And I think they're going to try and go on to My Little Roshan, but it might be too late. There's no mana on the Nake, so Royale, he'll back off. Another very good kill, though. So this Tusker pick is paying off. I was very unsure about it. Extremely unsure about how it would go, but so far so good. And Royale will just get back to free farming, but when I say free farming, the one man I think of is Sapphire right now, who's got 61 last hits. He's had complete control over his lane. And really, there's been no congestion. And I think the idea is that Nakes would be able to eventually outcarry the Juggernaut. I don't know about that. That is to be seen. Looks like they're going to have a go on to Nirvana again, who is level 8, so he will be able to zip away if necessary. They need to really be able to hold him down long enough so that the Sunray can do its work. And even Horus's Spirit Siphon. You can see the fear in Nirvana as well. He's just so scared to go for anything here. Meanwhile, top lane Sapphire, he's just literally hitting up on this tier 1. There's no contention whatsoever. Visual though, he's coming in, and Sapphire, he knows all about this. The ward is available, and he can see them coming in. And meanwhile, bot lane, Senior Cheesy Cake, he gets taken down. Not sure exactly what happened. We did miss that, but it might have been just a stun into an arrow, or even just an arrow, and that was enough. Now Pigeon's here to try and hurt this Nakes. The arrow came out but missed completely, and there's a stun. Now they ignite, and they're going to keep chasing, but the rage is there, and Royale, he wants to turn this around, but there's no glimpse. It was on cooldown at the time, unfortunately. Oh, Sapphire, he's going to find Meese. Meese maybe trying to bait out that Omni Slash, because he does have the ulti available. And the Omni Slash won't come out. Jug being very smart about it. Visual, he comes straight back in mid. He's level 6 now, so he does have that Walrus Punch available. And that does deal a fair bit of damage, especially when you've just hit level 6. Especially on a squishy Storm Spirit. There's a sort of swarm. Now the Snowball comes in, but he zips away, and now he's under the tier 1. He will back off, and there's no stun from Pigeon because he has no mana. So still trying to get that Arcanes on the Ogre. And now we see Meese again. Really making these rotations happen. Double damage bottled up on Nirvana. In fact, they use the Potom ulti. But doesn't look like anything's going to come out of it. Not sure why they used them. May have been a misclick. Top lane, we saw the tier 1. It did go down. Because, like I said, Juggernaut, he knew exactly when they were coming. With that Observer Ward. If they want to get this Jug, they really need to smoke. Which I would recommend. Now the Snowball comes in onto Levi Kappa, and he leaps away. Now Pigeon might be the one in trouble. There's a silence from Horus. Spirit Siphon, but the arrow cancels it. Now the Phoenix Ultimate comes out, and Visual's still stuck there. And I think he's in big trouble here. Nirvana's there as well, going onto Horus, I think. And the Icarus dive just to get out. And Visual will be the target. There is a double damage on Nirvana, but that Sigil is slowing them down so much. Now the silence coming down, and big shards splits up the team. The Sunray not enough, but the tier 1, is it going to kill him? No, he zips out of it just in time. So very sloppy play in that fight. Definitely the Radiant could have got more out of that. Sorry, the Dire could have gotten way more out of that. They managed to pretty much let everyone from the Radiant retreat apart from Phoenix. So Meese takes the sacrifice like a man, but still not good news. In fact, we'll bring up the net worth now rather than having these last hits, because that's more important. And we can see Juggernaut, he's sitting there at 5.6k, just closely followed by Nakes on the 5k mark. So both teams farming decently well. Now we see a glimpse onto on my little Roshan. And Visual comes in with the snowball. And I think, yep, there he is. Horus is there as well. And they actually commit the Disruptor ultimate as well. Now the slow from Horus onto Pigeon. And they take him out as well. Apologies, it was the Spirit Siphon. And they managed to get 2 kills for themselves. So that's a very good, another good rotation. And they take out the tier 1. And I'm going to have a look at the team net worth graphs in just a second, but if I'm going to comment on anything, I've got to say they've got to take this Juggernaut out. He's got phase boots, he's got a Vanguard now, and it looks like he'll be going straight for the Usher. He's got a casual Ring of Health, which I'm not sure about, because I thought he may have been going for the Battle Fury, but he hasn't gone for it. In fact, if he didn't go for the Vanguard, he would have had it right now. Opting not to, though. We see Mies, he has an Urn of Shadows now. That being said, I'm fairly sure Visual also has one. In fact, he does. Definitely, maybe a bit of miscommunication there. But definitely no need to have 2 heroes with the Urn. Definitely a waste of gold and item slot. Oh, now the Potom ultimate. Mies is there in the background if need be. They're going to try and find this Nakes, and Royale with Cheese is by himself. The Manalik, now the stun from Pigeon, and they're going to really help him out here. There's no TPs quite yet. Royale with Cheese, he rages and walks away, but now they're going to find Mies, and Mies, he's in big trouble. He uses the ulti, but they should be able to hit this out, and yeah, they will be able to. He's dead 100%. Level 1, I think it only takes 5 hits, is it? Yeah, 5 hits to destroy the egg. They actually turn this around though. Levy, he's in big trouble. Coddle taking so much damage. The DP ulti committed, and not enough spirits coming out really to deal much damage. Arrow comes out, misses. Oh, Nirvana, he actually takes out Senior Cheesecake in the mid lane. Horus, he's starting to hit up on that tier 1, trying to take advantage of that ulti that was used. Doesn't want to waste it. But the TPs are coming in. And Sapphire, he's the one there, and he's got the Omni Slash available, but there's no mana actually available onto him. And the good shards, he needs about 1 mana, and there it is. But he won't be able to catch up. And he's too afraid they might turn this around. Now Pigeon, he's in trouble. The Sunray came out, and the Snowball as well. And Pigeon, he will get taken down for this. And so they do get a bit of return kill here. And this will be the tier 1, I think. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, Nirvana managed to take out the tier 1 in mid. So he did get a good trade for himself. And that is a tier 1. So it's 2 tier 1s gone for each team. 8-6 currently, very even game. The thing is, Juggernaut has out-farmed everyone. Only by 200 gold for the Nakes though, so... Royale with Cheese, still farming very well for himself. See Nirvana pushing that tier 1 a bit. Just using those illusions now. And he will back off as soon as he sees the Radiant disappear. And I hear it disrupt the ultimate. He used it on the creeps. I realize that could be used for farming purposes, but the cooldown is a bit too high at this stage to use the ulti as for a farming purpose, unless it was a mistake. See Royale with Cheese. He will TP top. There's going to be safer farm there. That's fair enough because he realizes this bot lane is going to start getting targeted now for that tier 1. So he will go up top and get that safer farm. Smart decisioning from the Nakes. There is a Potom ultimate to try and catch out someone at the tier 1. They should know to leave this alone. I don't think they can defend this, especially because the Nakes is already TP'd. So he can't even TP in. And actually, Visual and Phoenix are coming in. Pigeon's going to see this, though. And he scouts it out. No arrow coming up from the Potom quite yet. That's because it was on cooldown anyway. Nirvana, he's on the front lines. He's just waiting for them to come in. There's the Bloodlust as well. T1 cops a lot of damage. They're going to back out, but this could be a bait. And the only person that is in that bot lane is the Nakes at the moment. In fact, Nakes has all the items available for his Echo Saber. He just needs to bring them out. And he's going straight for a Deso next. Already has the Blightstone. So the Nakes catching up on farm quite a lot. Very, very close behind this Juggernaut. About 700 gold, in fact. And I did say we were going to have a look at that net worth graph. And you can see about 1.5K the way of the Dire. 2K in the way of experience. Now, not too big of a deal. I've seen definitely worse. but still, nevertheless, behind. Some good wards placed by Visual, very aggressive, keeping that good sight. Looks like they might be aware of it though. There's a snowball onto My Little Roshan. They're gonna want to take out that Coddle straight away, and they will do so. Good silence as well. Now Pigeon's in trouble. The Glimpse is there as well. And that's another double kill. So 2 good kills coming out. Again, these supports on the dire end are really suffering. And once you take out those supports, it's like a you know, like a tower really. You take out the base, which is the supports right now, and the rest of it just crumbles. And they can't defend this without the Ogre Coddle. Especially when you've got that DP ultimate coming out. This tier 2 will melt. And there's not much that can be done about it, and they'll just leave it alone. Of course, the Bloodstone helps out on the Nakes as well. Now the arrow comes out, but does absolutely nothing. And Horus is going to use that last bit of exorcism to try and deal a bit of damage, maybe get themselves a kill, but decides better of it. Now, oh, Nirvana, he's here, and he wants something out of this. Horus heals up with the spirits, and they might actually go for a kill on Nirvana. The Glimpse is available on the Disruptor, and he has the ultimate as well, if need be, but he cops an arrow, and I think he's dead here. The Snowball comes in, though, from Visual, and there's a Sunray trying to heal up this Disruptor, who drops the ultimate. Now Storm's in trouble, and they actually managed to take him out. Now Levi Kappa, he's in a bit of trouble himself, but he backs off. I believe I heard an Omni Slash, and there's the Juggernaut. Takes out the Phoenix Eggs, now Visual. He's trying to back out. The spin comes out, no Omni Slash available, and it's on cooldown, I should say. Levi Kappa, he's chasing, but the Nakes, he's going to deal a lot of damage here. And the Potom ultimate is still available. The Infest comes out, and they do manage to take out the Potom. And Juggernaut, he's still chasing Visual, and Visual's juking him around. And he actually is going to manage to get away from that. And they're still trying to chase Pigeon. And the mana's not available to throw the Crypt Swarm out, so they won't do so. And Royale, he'll walk past Sapphire now, but there's no Omni Slash, so he's in big trouble here. The spin used, and he'll TP away, and he'll be just fine. But another great fight for the side of the Radiant. They're playing very well. And I mean, of all the games I've casted of this team, the one thing I've always commented on is their coordination is very good. Especially for the tier they're in. I believe their MMR is not the greatest. But I've always said the coordination for this team is very good. Obviously, a bunch of friends playing very well with each other. The warding is very good at the moment as well. They've got some good aggressive wards out. Apologies, that is the dire one. This is the Radiant one. So the vision they have is very good, as you can see. Very aggressive. They realize they need to push the pace, which they are doing. But there is an Aghanim Scepter now up on Levi Kappa. That's a lot of damage that comes out from that Ags. Now the Battle Fury available on Sapphire as well. Interestingly enough, he went for a Vanguard first, as we saw. Obviously, he's gonna put it into an Abyssal later on, but it's not a bad build-up. I was commenting before on how I think, you know, why not get the Battle Fury first, but probably due to the fact that he saw so many of his teammates dying constantly, he thought better to go for the tanky style build first, and I'll win at the later game. So Sapphire, he went on Meese, but he's in a bit of trouble now. There's the silence as well. Royale with Cheesy sitting up on that tier 1, and the Echo Saber Blightstone's really helping out as well as the Armlet. And they will manage to get the kill on the tower. And this is going to help their net worth quite a lot. That being said though, the Potom ultimate is used. Juggernaut actually TP's bot, but I think they're still going to go for a team fight here. It's only 3 on 5 though. And Levi Kappa, is he going to go for it? There's the arrow. Visual will cop it. Didn't manage to dodge it. It's a 3-second one. And look at the Aghanim Scepter Starfall. He used the snowball, but this isn't good for Visual. I think he's in big trouble here. And Meese comes in with the Icarus dive. Now the Shards using Pigeon Stark. And there's a slow from Royale with Cheese. So he'll take out Pigeon at the least, I think. Yeah, he will. Kinetic Field was good as well. Now Nirvana TP is in. The Illuminate deals a hell of a lot of damage. The Egg stuns nobody. Disruptor Ultimate is completely whiffed, unfortunately, but they'll take out the tier 2 at the least. Now the Sunray healing up Royale. And that'll be the end of it, I think. They'll want to back off here. While all this is happening, they ping out the Sapphires pushing the bot lane. And they'll need to go defend this. They definitely don't want to give this away. And Meese will be the one to come in. And Sapphire smartly backs off. He does have that Omni Slash available. And Meese did just use that egg. So if he can bait out an Icarus dive, he could probably go for an Omni Slash and take him out solo. But looks like he'll return to farming. Keep going towards that Yasha. The Yasha really speeds you up in farming. That out of movement speed and attack speed really helps out. and turn that into a Manta straight after. Really going to help out, especially with the silence coming out from Horus, who has a Yule Scepter now as well. Pretty standard on DP. You use the ulti, and if you're in trouble, you simply use the Yules on yourself, and everyone else is copying damage while all that's happening. Looks like Sapphire is going to go on to Naix, who's infested in one of the creeps. Now he jumps down. The Sunray's out from Meese as well. The Omni Slash is available, like I said, and I think he will have to use it. And he will do so, but he's not doing enough damage. But Meese actually gets taken out. And now Royale, he's in a bit of trouble, but the Storm jumps in. Now he's in trouble. And Nirvana, I think he might get taken out. No, the Potom takes out Naix first. And Visual, he's getting taken down himself. The Mana Leak there as well. Spirit Siphon comes out from Horus. Now the silence from Disruptor. The Glimpse in as well. Potom, he's copying a bit of damage, but they want to keep going here. The Potom ultimate used. And Visual, he's in massive trouble. The arrow comes out, but it misses. The snowballs, well, just to delay the time just a bit. But Visual's definitely dead here. The Shards comes out as well. Now the Starfall will take care of the rest of the job. And that's a good team fight for the Dire. This is definitely not what the Radiant wanted. And they're not going to be able to defend this tier 2 now. And we're going to have a look at that net worth graph. And you can see it was diving. I mean, there was a point where it was going back the way of the Radiant, but the Dire seems to completely be dominating this game in terms of net worth. Even in XP. In fact, there's an Icarus dive, so we better get to that. There's a Sunray coming out. And I don't think they're going to be able to catch Pigeon anyway. He's bloodlusted up. The XP. 7.5k in the way of the Dire. Just not good news. And this Juggernaut is just farming way too well. He's got a double damage now. He hasn't got the Omni Slash, but I think he can really push his tier 2 without any contention. There actually might be a team fight in the mid of the jungle. Nirvana, he takes out Meese. And that'll be it. They'll take out the Phoenix. Meanwhile, Juggernaut, he takes out the tier 2 now, spins and tries to get away. The Healing Ward was there. And they actually leave the Juggernaut to go for the Healing Ward, and the Juggernaut just runs away now. Oh no, the Glimpse is there, so they might be able to kill him. He starts man fighting with Royale, and they actually take him out. Now, the Storm takes out 2 pretty much. No, it's actually Potom. Horus takes out Sapphire. Now, Visual, he's in massive trouble. And Horus, he's got the spirits going, but it's not enough, I don't think. Now, the Siphon, they're trying to get Nirvana here, and he might just be able to get him with the Crypt Swarm. No, he zips straight out. And Nirvana will be able to walk away. Meanwhile, My Little Roshan still trying to get a Mana Leak onto the DP, but end of the day, 4 dead. And I'll tell you what, it's not too easy keeping up with these team fights. So much going on. So many team fights at that as well. We've got 31 kills at 26 minutes in. And even this Coddle is very close to that Aghanim Scepter now. In fact, I'm pretty sure he has a point booster. Yeah, he does. CDP, he's got that Rod of Atos, which has obviously been buffed quite a lot since that 2-second root buff occurred. Very popular on any DP that plays the game, pretty much. If I was to criticize what's happening right now on the side of the Radiant, I would say like they've dropped very behind. I mean, you've got the Potom who's leading now, and you've got the Juggernaut just behind, and they're about almost 2k net worth in the lead of the Naix. Now, obviously, they don't have these stats while they're playing, but they're letting the die get way too ahead. You can see Nirvana, he has a Bloodstone, 16 charges, gonna have a BKB relatively soon. Already has the Ogre Club. Now, mind you, they did the right thing by ganking the Storm a lot, but it hasn't. Apart from that, it's, you know, he seems to have caught up in farm quite fast. And the problem with this lineup that they've got is they're just not going to be able to take it too late against the lineup of the Dire. It's a very, like, they're planning on finishing the game fast, hence the DP pickup, hence the Desolator on Naix. And it's just, I don't feel like it's going to work out that way. What I would be doing if I was them right now, I would be grabbing a smoke and picking off 2 or 3, and then going for some towers. They're going to go for a team fight. Royale, he's going to be the first one in. Slows the Coddle, and Coddle will get taken down. It's a good kill. Nirvana looks like he wants to jump back in, but deciding better of it. But they're going to stick around. And the arrow almost hits Horus. No, actually it does. It's a lot of damage. But that'll be it. He gets the urn and he'll be fine. And it's a good kill on the Coddle. There's just no follow-up though, as well. I mean, your lanes are pushed in, so you can't push any towers. Coddle will be back up just in time to be able to defend. This is a very hard game, but they need to win a few team fights. Nakes obviously needs more farm, even though he's farmed very well. But he's being out-farmed is the problem. Actually, there's a snowball here. And it will be onto Sapphire, but the spin's there as well, and he'll just TP away. Arrow comes out, barely misses Visual. Now the Icarus dive, and Phoenix, he's in big trouble here. Mies, he's jumped in too far. The Phoenix Egg's there, though. And now Potom trying to get out the Yules there from Horus. Now the Kinetic Field and the Shards, but he just leaps out of it. And there was no silence, but it was on cooldown anyway. And I don't know if they're going to be able to catch up to Kappa. Visual, he'll find Nirvana. Now the Arrow comes out and Disruptor cops it. The Snowball comes out onto Nirvana. There's the Root. And the Sunray and the Silence. They're actually going to be able to get a kill into Storm. That's a big kill. He didn't actually use the Suicide from the Bloodstone either. And Royale, he wants to keep going for more, but just can't catch up for the slow. And there's no tier 2 at bot either, so they might want to rotate to the mid or big stun up on the Nakes. Nirvana's there as well. Obviously fast respawn with the Bloodstone. Kappa, he's straight in. Royale wants to man fight this. Snowball comes in. Good silence from the DP, but the zip in from Nirvana. And there's no egg available on the Phoenix. And look, DP is trying to man fight him. Good silence, but they actually managed to kill off the Storm. So confused what's going on right now. Royale with cheese. He's actually killing off people in the background. And there's only Juggernaut left. And the Spirit Siphon, the Silence as well. The Root. This is well played. A full team wipe from the side of the Radiant. I was so confused in that team fight. I thought that... Oh, accidentally took a screenshot. I thought that it was going terribly for the side of the Radiant. And they just pulled something out of the bag. Like the Spirits from Horus dealing so much damage. Meanwhile, Senor, he's just absolutely dominating in the backlines with that Nakes. And they just couldn't take him out. And by the time he did, it was only the Juggernaut left. Now, Storm Spirit zips in. Just deals a bit of damage and backs out. You has to use the Shrine to heal up his mana again. They should keep going for this tier 3 and it will go down anyway. Not denied. Obviously, if they still had the Exorcism available on Horus, they would have kept going. No point to keep pushing without that Nakes. It's a good amount of gold that's come their way though. That massive team fight. Obviously a lot of gold there. Then you got the tier 3 goes down. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get a Rax, but hey, at the end of the day, you still got a tier 3 when you were behind. So you can't complain about that. And the net worth, it's going to start leading back up the way of the Radiant, which is exactly what they needed. XP as well. Pigeon, he's got a 4-staff now as well. And for Storm, he's going to be kicking himself Nirvana. The worst thing is when you get a Bloodstone on Storm. And then you get all these Bloodstone charges and then you lose them like 2 or 3 times in a row. Which he just did. So he went from 16 to 6, which really hurts because you get used to the awesome mana regen. And then it gets so much lower. I believe it's one mana regen per charge. So he's lost 10 mana regen per second now. Veil of Discord picked up by Mies. I don't agree with the Midas pickup, to be honest. It's just it's just a very late Midas pickup. I know where he's coming from when he gets it. I just don't agree with it. In fact, he's also gone for the 120 plus gold per min. I mean, plus 55 Spirits DPS is quite a lot. But is that per second? 50 plus per second? Because that would be massive. If that's plus 50 per second, that's 200 damage per Spirit. That's a big thing to give up for some gold. But nevertheless, he's going for the Aghanim Scepter. Tusk, he's still trying to get himself that mech. It's going to be very late. Which is another thing. Like, instead of getting the Midas, maybe would have been better off going for the mech. And letting Tusker have a bit of breathing room. See Coddle, he's already got the Aghanim Scepter. So it's going to be so painful trying to push up against the Coddle. Like, they've been able to kill him multiple times. That's the thing. So they've done a pretty good job in like halting that quite a lot. But it's been a big like apart from that, he's still got the Aghanims that he needs. See Horus, he's actually got himself a Glimmer Cape now as well. So he just wants to be able to stay alive through these team fights so the Exorcism can do what it needs to do. Also, And I mean, I don't mean to pick on Mace here. Aghanim Scepter is very questionable on Phoenix. Very questionable. It's more of a luxury pick than a necessity. There's a lot more utility he could go for. Like even getting 4-star for Yules, all that kind of stuff. Good TP away from Coddle. Getting all those kind of mobility items or the utility items, very handy. And the more you can get, the better. Like the Veil is good. I just don't know about the Aghanim Scepter. Like he could make some massive saves, but is it that worth it? Is what I'm saying. Levy, he's got a Lincoln Sphere now as well as the Boots of Travel. And Mace is going to find him, but he gets the Invis anyway, and they have no True Sight available. And they will need to get a gem up pretty soon. Because eventually, like, you've got to take map control. You've got to try and combat this Potom ultimate, all the Invis coming up. In fact, they're taking the Roshan now as well. And there's going to be no congestion. I don't think they're aware that it's happening. And even if they were, they may not feel very safe to try and contest it. Just fair enough. But this does mean that there's probably going to be a massive push coming in from the Dire. And Mies, he's there in position, but he's found out by Nirvana and a good zip in. And there is a jump out from Roya. Now the egg comes out actually, and they've got to just try and back off from the Dire. And Levy, he's trying to fight this egg. And there's a big stun up on Nirvana. What timing on the egg? Nirvana respawns and the egg explodes and stuns him. That is just so unfortunate. All well timed. One of the two. Now, the Omni Slash onto a solo Horus. That's a big kill. And there's a Nax. He's caught out as well. Visual. Good snowball save. Now, Disruptor Ultimate's pretty good. There's a kinetic field as well. And they're dealing a lot of damage back to them. Roya, he's man fighting through this as well. And Pigeon, he's going to be dead. Juggernaut's dead. Now, my little Roshan, he's the only one left. No, Potom's there as well. And Kappa, he's in big trouble. Infest as well. Good leap out. The Urn is there, though. And I think he might be able to get the kill. Nax actually gets taken out. Visual, he can't find the last hit. I don't know what's going on here. And he gets a snowball. Some good juking, but at the end of the day, he gets taken out. And I think Sapphire, did he buy back through all that? I think he may have. Yeah, he did. And that's a big waste of a buyback. So well played to the Radiant for that. And actually, Mies, I don't know what he's doing there, but he gets taken out. Overextension from him a bit, I think. He should have really tried to back out. This BKB as well. Going to be coming very soon on Nirvana. Basher now available. On the Nax. Another good pickup for the Nax. Disruptor. Looks like he might be trying to get a 4-star. Or a Yules. One of the two. No, actually it might be just a Yules. I think he may have just picked up the recipe for it as well. I'm very confused about what he's going for, but I'm pretty sure it's a Yule Scepter. Anyway, we'll leave him be and we'll find out very soon. Horus will be going for the Octarine Core next. Very good item on a DP. Obviously allows that healing capability while he's running through everyone. Obviously the cooldown, the minus 25% cooldown helps a lot as well. And the tankiness of all of it. I mean, because we've got some downtime, I could probably comment on the state of the game. In terms of kills, they're leading. In terms of farm, they're losing. Like as in the Radiant. This Jug is out farming everyone right now. He's been farming very well. And although they are still able to kill him, at some stage he's going to get very uncontrollable. Oh, and a good arrow from Potom catches Mies, and the Potom ultimate straight away. Like the Dire do have a very good vision game as well. They seem to always know when there's a gank coming. And now they're going to turn around. There's a Potom ultimate again. Good sentry drop, so they're going to find Pigeon. Snowball in. Now the kinetic field, but the blinding light's there. Now the Disruptor ultimate comes out. And the Sunray as well from Phoenix. And they will get the kill onto the Pigeon. But Nirvana, he jumps straight into the Phoenix in the backlines. He does have the egg available, and he will use it. And will they try and attack this? There's the Omni Slash onto Horus, and they take him out. And I don't think he had a Yules available. No, he didn't. Now the egg goes down as well. And this is a bit of a disaster for the side of the Radiant now. They've only got the buyback available on DP, who doesn't have Exorcism available. And this is your worst kind of nightmare. And they're going to go for the push. Everything's available on the side of the Dire. And I don't think... I mean, DP can buy back, but what can she do with that Exorcism? Good jump in from Nirvana. Gets the kill. And visual, he's got the Nake's Infest into him. He's actually got a Guardian Greaves now. That's a very good pickup. But at the end of the day, I don't see them defending this. Definitely not feeling very confident without that mid DP. And there's no point in her buying back because she's got no Exorcism, like I said. So 2 Raxes go down and that's it. Dire definitely going to be happy about that. And they're just going to get out safely. And now there's a blink on Levy as well. And that's just going to mean he can jump straight into the middle of a team fight. Get the double Starfall and jump back out with the leap. Pretty standard. Going to be going for a Manta style next. Just to be able to get that silence off her. From the DP. And they'll take the first shrine out. In fact, the second shrine's getting taken out as well. Pings are coming out from the Radiant. Good warding again. Don't know. I don't think they actually caught the Radiant running up, but they're well aware that it could happen. And they'll manage to save 1 shrine at the least. Mies, he's going to find himself a haste. He's got the Aghanim Scepter. And I believe it increases the hits it takes to destroy it as well, does it? Yeah, it does. It increases it to 13, so it's 2 more. But I mean, that's not really the big deal of it. The whole big thing about it is you get somebody inside of it, and then you both come out with full HP. But I'm really unsure about that pickup. See Ogre actually trying to go for an Aghanim himself. That's another thing I disagree with. I don't think Ogre has any necessity to go for an Aghanims. I mean, his Aghanims is pretty terrible. And there's going to be a team fight. While all this is happening though, Nirvana, he's actually just pushing the tier 3. Now he knows he can because he's seen where the Radiant are. And they really want to go for a kill here in mid, but Visual, he's going to TP back. And I think the rest of the Dire are going to have to TP back. But Senor, he gets caught out with the arrow. And now Mies, he'll be able to get out anyway, but Senior Cheesy Cake, he gets taken out. Now Horus is being chased up. And there's a jump in from Nirvana. This is pretty disastrous. They take out the DP again. And there's actually a GG well played call, but it's from the Dire. That's a bit of foul play there. You can't call that. You got to consider these professional games in the Battle Cup. And Omni Slash straight onto Royale. And Mies is taking some of it, and he's been silenced up, but he uses the X straight away. Now a good silence from Disruptor. That's actually massive, but the Illuminate comes in, and Sapphire, he's trying to fight through all this. Now spins out, but the Spirit Siphon's there, and that's 2 down. The Storm and the Jug are actually down. Now the Root and the Yule's onto Coddle, and he's in massive trouble. Pigeon's being chased up as well. The Arrow comes in, and Pigeon's going to get taken down. Now My Little Roshan, he'll be the next target. The Spirits are still chasing, and there's a big glimpse. And now Coddle, he'll get taken down as well. That's massive. That is an absolute massive turnaround. But while all this is happening, Kappa, he's pushing the bot lane, doing what he can when he can. And Royale goes for the slow, but the Lincolns cancels it. And that'll be it. They got a massive team fight, big gold exchange out of that. And they do need that, but 3 buybacks available. They could still go for a big push here because Jug doesn't have the buyback available. Which, I mean, they'll be able to get the tier 2 at least. I just feel like they need more than a tier 2. And looks like Kappa, he's going to keep pushing this. He doesn't actually have a TP available. It's on 25-second cooldown. And although they don't know this, I think this is the kind of point where you need to just push for racks. But Exorcism isn't available either, so that's going to make it even harder. Now the Coddle comes out with the Illuminates and the Blinding Lights. And Kappa in the background and the bot lane, he's just pushing that tier 3. And they've got a TP back to defend this now. They get the tier 2 at least, but I suppose without the Exorcism, they can't do too much in terms of trying to push. I think they may have overstayed their welcome, though. Disruptor gets taken out. And Senor, he's in trouble now as well. The arrow comes out, but he was raged up. And they're going to keep going. He's infested, but he's definitely dead here. He's just surrounded. And he can't man fight against 4, I don't think. He can definitely try. And they're just going to juke him around. And Royale, he'll get taken out. Nirvana just zips away. And that's definitely a massive mistake. I mean, like, I understand they're like the desperatism there, But if I was to criticize that, I mean, that's like you should have definitely backed off. I thought they did pretty much. So when you saw 2 or 3 of your supports get out of there, I mean, I think it was the Phoenix and then there was Visual as well. They backed out. Disruptor gets taken out in the mid lane for no reason. Then Nakes is left alone and gets taken out as well. It was definitely unnecessary to stick around. And that could actually cost them the game because Nakes has no buyback, which I believe is another mistake because it's not on a timer. So he just doesn't have enough. Oh no, maybe it is. No, it isn't. So he just doesn't have the gold for it. And Royale with cheese. Bit of a mistake on his part because he went for that Abyssal Blade, which is fair enough, but you have to have buyback this late into the game. And I'm not sure how long this pause goes on. I could try skipping it. We will try it out. And looks like I got lucky, I think. Maybe. Oh, I think I skipped too far. I'm just going to back off before anything happens. Alright, so Roshan taken out again. And again, no contention because they really can't without the Nakes. Luckily though for them, it does give Nakes a bit of time to respawn. They'll give Nirvana the Aegis again. Storm definitely the best carrier on the team of the Dire. And they're going to try and defend this. Nakes is up in 10 seconds. But if he does die, he has no buyback available. And it's hard when you've got a Storm with the Aegis because you don't want to aim him because he has Aegis. You want to leave him to a last, but at the same time, Storm just deals so much damage if you leave him alone. And there doesn't appear to be any kind of split push play coming out from the Dire at the moment. They're looking to just go as 5. The Potom ultimate comes out, but there is a sentry there. So they will see them, and Coddle has to be so careful. He could get glimpsed right now. And Senior just holding on to it. He's going to get a massive static storm right now. And there's a jump in from Levy, but it'll leap straight out. Just gets a double starfall. Disruptor loses half his HP because of it. Arrow misses everyone, but the racks are going down very fast. They've got to make a play here, and they will. Snowball in onto Coddle. Sapphire, he's man fighting Royale with cheese, and there's the Omni Slash. And now Mace, he's in massive trouble. Uses the egg and actually takes someone in with him. But they're going to take this egg out, and that's not good news. There's 2 dead. It's Senor and Mace get taken out in the egg. Now Levy, he's going straight onto Visual. The spirits aren't doing too much at the moment. And Storm jumps straight back in because he's got the Aegis, so he's not really scared of anything. And Visual, he'll get taken out from the arrow. And Storm, he will get taken out, but he'll be straight back. Nakes still is alive, but that being said, Sapphire, he takes him out. Now Nirvana, he's going to go straight after Visual, and Visual will get taken out. Levy Cap on an ultra kill right now. And there's a GG call. And Horus, he'll get taken out as the last hero. And the root's there, but it's not going to mean too much. And nice little good luck further from Visual. And that is GG, well played. So Team Yamate takes the victory. So, I mean, look, they did play very well. I will comment on that. So GG well played to them. GG well played to both teams, in fact. But I will comment because I was asked to be a critic. And I will comment at the end of the day about what's happened here. So, couple things. Number one, the draft is way... We'll get out of this screen. So the draft is way... it's very early game orientated. And they just didn't push enough in the early game to make anything happen. I think if you wanted to finish the game in like the mid game, like early to mid, DP is not the best pickup. Because although her ulti feels like it can do a lot to towers, there are better heroes that can do the same thing with lower cooldown abilities. So I don't agree with the DP pickup. I know there wasn't many mids left by the point the drafting phase was over, but definitely I think it was a mistake to pick the DP up. The Phoenix Aghanim Scepter was definitely not the play. Like this build. Like, the Veil was fine, the Urn was fine, the Midas, unsure. I don't agree with that either. It was too late. The Aghanim Scepter did not work out for him whatsoever. It just did nothing. In fact, it got him and the Disruptor killed. And I think there was definitely one instance at that last team fight, but there may have been another. It was just, Aghanim Scepter is not a good item on Phoenix, so that was definitely like the wrong item to get. You could have gone Heaven's Halberd, You could have gone like a Yules, could have gone 4-staff, like heaps of utility. You could have gone even for another Rod of Atos. There's just so many things you could have gone for over that Midas and over the Aghanim Scepter. Even a Hex would have been massive. So definitely don't agree with that. The Disruptor played pretty fine. His item build is absolutely fine, so I can't really disagree with too much. So Signor played pretty darn well. Obviously the kill death ratio doesn't show that, but he's a position 5 support, so you can't. He's meant to die many times. The Nakes was fine as well. Obviously he was a bit low on farm in comparison to the Jug early game, but Royale with Cheese farmed pretty well, and Visual, he played pretty well. Good rotations. Look, overall, it was no single player or hero that lost you the game. What lost you the game is the draft is too greedy, and it didn't really have a set plan. Whereas these guys, they know what they're doing. So, like as in the draft, they know that they want to win in the mid or the late game. Like, they're fine. They've got a Juggernaut who can go very late if need be, and they can win in the mid game because they've got a Jug, they've got a Storm, they've got a Potom, and they've got the defense of Coddle, and they've got a very strong Ogre. So they win the laning phase. Like, early phase is won. The mid game they'll dominate because they got the stronger mid game lineup. Even though they didn't dominate because your coordination was better, and the late game they won because their late game is better than what you guys had. This is just the draft here is a lot of heroes with good AoE abilities and good push, but very high cooldowns. The Static Storm is a 80-second cooldown at first level. This is like plus 100-second cooldown for the Exorcism at all levels. The Egg is a high cooldown as well. So, like, the draft was probably the reason why the game was lost, I would say. But like I said, like I always say, when you're playing these games, pick what you're comfortable with and play to the best of your ability. Like, you don't have to take my word for it. I'm just, from what I've examined, that's where the issue happened in this game. The coordination was great, but like I said, watch the draft. Concentrate more on trying to win the laning phase, because I feel like that, even though the roaming was great from Visual and Signor and Mies to help out against the Storm, I just feel like at the end of the day it was still too weak. And Juggernaut pretty much got free farm at the end of the day. Anyway, guys, hopefully I wasn't just jabbering, like going on about nothing there. So if you guys need me to explain a bit more, I'm sure Illegal Monkey Butt, aka Visual, will let me know. I hope it wasn't offensive in any sense. I'm just trying to help out. I was asked to give criticism, so hopefully no offense. Otherwise, guys, look, it's been Michael Phoenix. Thanks for anyone watching. I think there's 2 guys watching at the moment. I appreciate it. Consider following the Twitch stream and following the YouTube channel and me on Twitter at MLPDodo if you enjoyed it. Otherwise, guys, I'll be back probably tomorrow casting another few games. In fact, I will be, probably, because I've got a few days off after this, so I'll be back, guys, in a few days, or in a day. Thanks for watching. It's been Michael Phoenix. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, you guys have a great day ahead.